All right, my little cutie pies, let's go. We gotta catch them all. Hey, babes. Welcome back to Moonbae Crochet. It is Brandy, and today I have a pattern review for you. Actually, 4 pattern reviews. I recently have been working on quite a few Pokemon for an order that somebody placed with me. So I have 4 of them done. I still have 3 to go, but I thought I would just show you guys the ones that I've made and give my reviews on the patterns in which I use to create them. If you're new here, my name is Brandy and I do a lot of crochet content on here. Pattern reviews like today's video, sharing gift ideas for certain holidays or other types of events, sometimes reading r/am I the whole stories that have to do with crochet, and all kinds of fun stuff like that, whatever pops into my brain. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, I would really appreciate you considering subscribing, sticking around. I'm very excited to show you guys the Pokemon I made today, so let's hop right into this. So I did show briefly 3 of these Pokemon that I'm going to be sharing today. In a recent video. I don't know what video it was, but I think it was like a crochet and chit chat with me type of video, but I just briefly showed the Pokemon that I had made and they were, I love them. So today I'm going to be giving you my reviews on the patterns that I used to make them. So I'm going to start first with the 2 free patterns and then I'll show you the 2 paid patterns. So I think we'll start with this one first. Here we have Jigglypuff, and oh my goodness, you guys, Jigglypuff used to be one of my favorite Pokemon. Not so much anymore. She's still very cute, but I don't know. I loved when I was watching Pokemon when I was a kid. She was so bratty. I loved that for her. But this girl, she is big. She is thick. Like, this is like literally the size of, I don't know. She's like almost the size of a volleyball. So she's huge. The pattern for her was created by an artist named Needlehook Creations. I found the pattern for free on Ravelry and I just think it worked out so beautifully. So I would say that as far as skill level goes, in order to make this pattern, I would say you need to be like maybe an advanced beginner. It's not necessarily like you don't need to be intermediate by any means, but there are a few things that are a little bit confusing. So I would say definitely you need just like beginner knowledge, but advanced beginner, because I would say the hardest part of this whole pattern is the little puff curl here. It just gets a little bit confusing. The person who designed the pattern definitely does a good job showing photos and like even using different colored yarn so you can see where to do certain changes and whatnot. They do a very good job explaining how to do it, but even I still had a tiny bit of trouble. I think I like kind of winged it a little bit with this part, but you can't even tell. It still looks perfectly cute. The little arms and the feet, everything else is like basic, especially the main bulk of her body is just a big old round ball. Tons of single crochet stitches. If you don't love crocheting in single crochet, which I definitely understand, this might not be the one for you, but if you love Jigglypuff, this could be a very good one. I just think it's super cute and I will definitely be going back to this pattern in the future for sure. I've made smaller Jigglypuff in the past, but this one I think. And then I think the eyes are also like super adorable. You make just each one of these colors in a separate circle and then you sew them all together, but it looks so nice. So that is Jigglypuff. I gotta rate this one probably an 8 out of 10. Pretty easy to follow other than a few little like, different types of things than you're used to doing up here. And then like kind of sewing like the black piece of the ear into the pink piece. But I mean, other than that, everything is pretty basic. So yeah, pretty easy and very adorable. And then our second free pattern for this video is this adorable Snorlax. And this is one of my favorite patterns of all time. This is not the first Snorlax I've ever made. In fact, I don't even think that this is the 10th Snorlax I've ever made. You know what? You guys want to see the very first amigurumi I ever made? Like ever? It's actually sitting on my bed. This here is the very first amigurumi I ever made back in, I think, 2018. Snorlax! Like, you guys, look at the difference here. Yes, this one looks bigger, but like, oh my gosh, can you see just like how much more seamless the color changes are now? This one's like all squishy. This one's nice and like firm. The colors, just, you guys, I mean, this thing has seen better days clearly, but even back when I was a beginner, very beginner, learning how to make amigurumi, I was able to pull it off, okay? So if you are like kind of newish to amigurumi, I will definitely say this Snorlax pattern is top tier, super, super beginner friendly, okay? The pattern designer is Studio Crafty, and she is actually right here on YouTube, which I love. I love a good video tutorial. I'm a visual learner, you guys. So this one works out so perfectly. Seriously, you guys, anybody can make this one, I truly believe, because the reason that I say that this is so super beginner friendly is because she literally takes you row by row, step by step. She doesn't leave you hanging for anything. She shows you how to assemble it. Anybody could make this one, and I absolutely love it. This one's gonna go back on the bed now. But yes, this is one of my favorite patterns of all time, I will say, and it comes out cute every single time. Also, there's a variation where you could make the back a little flatter and then put the feet down here, and that way he could be like kind of laying down, but I like the sitting up version. That's just like my go-to for Snorlax. But I absolutely adore this little guy. The only thing I will say that is annoying about this pattern is all the dang color changes. Getting the like the blue to switch to the cream and then back to the blue in continuous rounds for this many rows. It is kind of a nightmare, I'm not gonna lie, but I love the finished result because I've seen like a few Snorlax patterns that are like you crochet all the blue parts as his body and then you crochet cream pieces to put on top and sew it, but I just feel like it looks a little bit more bulky that way. And the way that Studio Crafty did it, she did it to make it all one cohesive piece, which I love. And yeah, look at his little claws and stuff. Like I think it's so adorable. So this one for me, I will say 9.5 out of 10. I can't in good conscience give it a 10 out of 10 only because of all the color changes. They are annoying, but they yield an amazing result. So if you are an absolute beginner to amigurumi and you don't mind necessarily trying out a color change, that might be something new for you. Seriously, she explains it so well. Go check out Studio Crafty. Seriously, you will not regret it. Okay, now to move on to the two paid patterns. Here we have my friend Psyduck. I love this Psyduck pattern. I feel like the eyes on this one came out a little bit different than they have for me in the past. I could not sew the pupils on to save my life. I redid them about 4 times, but in the end, I think I got an adorable result and I love him. I make about 1 Psyduck a year and I use this pattern every single time. It works out flawlessly every single time. So the pattern for this one is by I Crochet Things on Etsy. All one word, all lowercase. At the time of filming, the pattern for Psyduck is $3.99 US, and I just think he is so cute. One of his arms is a little shorter than the other. It's, his body kind of tilts to the side. So it's supposed to look like he's like holding his head, like he has a headache, his little tail. What I love so much about this pattern is that there's like certain stitches you do like within the rounds where you're kind of like cutting across to the other side rather than going in a continuous round. So it sort of creates the curved shape of the arm. Like I didn't have to, manipulate the stuffing or anything for his arms to be doing this and for his tail to be sitting up like this. They just do that because of the way that the pattern is written. Because of those little tweaks that you have to do when working in the round, I will say that this is more of an intermediate pattern. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's beginner. However, I don't think that like it's completely like it's definitely not too hard. Definitely I wouldn't say it's like completely out of the realm of possibility that a beginner could make this successfully. I just think I would categorize it as a more intermediate pattern. Not super difficult by any means, but just there's quite a few like special things you have to do that I think I would probably be way too overwhelmed to do if I was a beginner. But yeah, he's got his little hairs up here, his bill. I love the bill, like the curve of it and everything, his little feet. I just think he's so adorable. I get about 1 order for a Psyduck every single year, and every time I do, I'm like, okay, like I'm excited to make it. I do really like this pattern. Considering I've made it so many times and it works out well every single time, I gotta rate this one a solid 9 out of 10. Really do enjoy it. It is just yeah, I love it. And I love that there's not too many different colors to work with here. He's so simple. So that is my review of Psyduck. And lastly, for the paid patterns in this video, and also what I might go as far as to say as might be my favorite pattern in this entire video. It is this Bulbasaur. Oh, you guys, I love Bulbasaur. I love Bulbasaur. And this one, it's just so cute. He's like so realistic looking, like cartoony, of course, but still like realistic for a Bulbasaur. This pattern is by One Up Crochet. Such adorable patterns on their Etsy page. I swear you need to go check them out. At the time of filming, the Bulbasaur pattern is $4.99 US. I absolutely think that that is a great price considering how detailed and like great the pattern is. But not only that, you get the pattern for Bulbasaur, but then they also include modifications for if you wanted to turn it into a Halloween themed Bulbasaur. So instead of the bulb, it would be like a pumpkin on its back, and then they include a witch hat as well. I think that's so adorable. I feel like I'm definitely gonna have to try that out one of these days. But I made the classic Bulbasaur for this particular order, and I adore how it came out. The only thing is the eyes, and honestly the spots I think are supposed to be made of felt. I did make the eyes out of felt, but I could not be bothered to cut out all these small little things, you know, for his spots out of felt and put them on. So I honestly just took some yarn and I embroidered all of his spots with yarn. And that's just personally what I did. But I mean, you know, this is why we love crochet. You can always customize things to make it easier for you or whatever you're feeling in the moment. But first of all, can I just say, I feel like I nailed the colors for this Bulbasaur. But yes, I absolutely love it. I will definitely say that this pattern, probably advanced beginner friendly, because it's very basic shapes and stuff that you have to make, like the thighs, you know, that's just like a round shape, the feet, the legs up here, the body even. The head is the only part that kind of has like a different sort of shape to it, you know, it's kind of like pointed and like curves out for the cheeks, but I mean, it's not difficult to follow whatsoever. And like the ears are basic too, and in order to get the bulb to get this shape, you just kind of make it in a round piece and then you like weave your yarn and like pull it tight in order to create the like little wedges here. But yeah, very beginner friendly pattern. The fact that you get 2 different versions in it is great. And y'all, this is definitely a pattern that I'm going to see myself going back to again and again and again because I love Bulbasaur. And it was just so fun to make. This was the first one that I made out of all of the Pokemon, and it's still my favorite one. Every single time I see it, it causes me so much joy. I don't even want to give this one to the customer that's paying for it. I want to keep him for me, but alas, I am going to have to just make myself another one. But I just feel like you could make so many different modifications too. Wouldn't it be so cute to make a pink Bulbasaur with like a red rose back here for like Valentine's or like an anniversary or something? Like, how cute. But anyways, yes, so I will say this pattern, I gotta give this one a 10 out of 10, y'all. I don't know what to tell you. I'm biased. Yes, I'm biased, but can you give that face anything but a 10 out of 10? I don't think so. All right, y'all, I know this video was a little bit shorter than my usual content on here. Maybe that's a good thing. But I just wanted to kind of show off the little Pokemon that I've made recently and tell you what I think about these patterns. I would highly suggest you go check them all out, or, you know, at least 1 or 2 of them if you're into Pokemon or if you just want to try something new. I'm definitely going to leave them all linked down below, so peruse at your will. Thank you all so much for being here as always. I so appreciate you. You're always leaving such sweet comments. You guys are just the best. I truly cannot tell you how much I appreciate you. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, week, month, night, whatever you're having. Please enjoy yourself. I hope you finish a whip today. But if you don't, it's okay. No judgment from me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.